There's this moment. You probably know it. You're standing somewhere completely ordinary, maybe the kitchen, waiting for the kettle, maybe stuck at a red light for the 400th time, and out of nowhere, this quiet little thought floats up. Is this it? Not dramatic, not a breakdown, just a whisper. Like something inside you knows there's a different version of your life running somewhere, and you just can't find the door. That feeling is not depression. That is your future self knocking on the window. And today we're going to talk about how to finally let them in. Because here's the thing nobody tells you. You don't need more discipline. You don't need to wake up earlier or cold shower yourself into a better person or fill in another planner you'll stop using by Thursday. What you actually need is to brainwash yourself. Stay with me. I promise this goes somewhere real. Think about someone you know. One of those people who is genuinely talented, lights up a room, makes things look easy. But for years, they've been playing small. And if you ask them why, they'll give you some version of the same answer. I'm just not a disciplined person. Some people are built for success. I'm not one of them. Here's what's heartbreaking. They actually believe it. Not because it's true, but because they've said it so many times it hardened into fact. Where did that story come from? Because nobody comes out of the womb believing they aren't enough. That story was handed to them. Maybe a parent called them the sensitive one so many times they stopped trying to be strong. Maybe a teacher said, "You're more of a math person," and they quietly closed the door on everything else. Maybe someone they loved during one bad night said, "You always give up," and some small part of them filed that away like gospel. This is what nobody tells you about your personality. Most of it wasn't chosen. It was inherited, installed, handed down like old furniture you never stopped to ask if you actually liked. And now you keep trying to build new habits on top of a foundation that was never yours to begin with. That's not a you problem. That's a software problem. So what do? Your brain is not fixed. Everything we grew up hearing said the opposite. You're either confident or you're not, creative or logical, as if you arrived fully formed and unchangeable. But that's not how your brain works. Your brain rewires itself based on what you repeatedly think, feel, and do. Every thought you have more than once carves a groove. And over time, those grooves become highways, fast, automatic, effortless. The thought, "I can't do this," feels true not because it is true, but because you've driven that road so many times your brain does it in its sleep. But here's the miracle. You can build a new road, at any age. There were these London taxi drivers who had to memorize every single street in the city. Thousands of streets, every back alley, every shortcut. Researchers scanned their brains afterward and found the part responsible for navigation had physically grown larger. Their brains changed because of what they repeatedly did. You are that taxi driver, and the streets you memorize next are entirely up to you. But something needs to be said, something that gets skipped because it doesn't make an inspiring thumbnail. Changing who you are is going to feel like a loss. Imagine you've worn the same coat for 15 years. You know it's too small, worn at the elbows, doesn't fit the life you're trying to live, but it's yours. You know every pocket. You've had the best and worst moments of your life in it. And someone hands you a new one, better, warmer, the right size, and your first instinct isn't gratitude, it's grief. Because when you've been the anxious one, the one who almost made it, for long enough, that stops being a description and starts being an identity. There's a man, let's call him James, who spent 9 years in a job he hated. Every time he got close to leaving, something pulled him back. One afternoon, he finally said it out loud. "I think I'm scared that if I become who I want to be, I won't recognize myself anymore." He wasn't afraid of failure. He was afraid of becoming someone new. That fear is quietly running the lives of more people than you'd ever guess. But the new version of you is not a stranger. It's the version that was always in there, quieter than the fear, patient as anything, just waiting for you to stop apologizing for it. Now something practical. You can journal, meditate, repeat affirmations until you believe them in your bones. And your environment will quietly undo all of it if you let it. Think about the last 5 conversations you had. Not what was said, just the feeling after. Did you feel bigger or smaller? Like someone building something, or someone going in circles? Because the people around you, the content you consume, the stuff you watch when you should be sleeping, all of it is programming.